some practice this morning and then seeding practice that they've gone into. So everybody has been sorted into heat order and taken off. So apologies for us being a little bit late on air. Had a few dramas getting here. All sorted now, so just trying to pick up track of what is going on out on the circuit. Let's try and pick up the car number 3 of Ben Vincent. That is the white, yellow and blue car. He's just coming out onto the main straight now. He's the last of the cars on the main straight now. So I'm just picking out Ben because I recognise his body shell more than anything else. He's running 4th in this heat, so let's see what kind of progress he's making. Leading it, looks like we've got the 8 car of Martin Christensen. In fact, Jacques Libar has moved to the front, so with the 2 car, so Jacques Libar is leading. No, Christensen is back to the front again, so, oh, okay, I can see what's happening. He started off 8, so he is going to take a little while to pop up. It's quite a long lap here, actually, relatively speaking, for a 12th scale circuit. Doing around a 15-second lap. The quick guy's doing sort of 14.5s when I was looking at the results earlier, seeing what's going on. You can see Ben has made his way through some of that traffic. Who's he running behind? He's still running behind Jacques Libar, Martin Christensen, Vesely and Oliver Baltink. Plenty of single colour body shells in this heat. Let's see if we can pick out anybody else recognisable. Ben's really the only one running race paint in this, which is, that's why I picked him out earlier. So let's keep running with him at the moment until I can identify another one of the quick cars. I'm just trying to find the leader, the 2 car. I think it's the pink car that's just about to come underneath us now. He is, yep, that's the 2 car of Jacques Libar. So you see him through the sweeper at the end of the main straight across the loop, just into the section of chicanes under the driver's rostrum, so traffic lets him go. I think that was the 7 car of Alexander Anderson he's just got past, so across the loop again. Car's looking really nice actually, Jacques Libar's car, really well balanced. So let's run with Jacques as he closes in on a couple of white cars in front of us. I'll see if I can pick up who these cars are next time they come around. Plain white body shells don't make our lives very easy, guys. Little hint for you if you want to be talked about. That's the 3 car, which is... no, it's not the 3 car, that's Ben Vincent. Appeared to be a 3 on there. Okay, well, he's got out of the way anyway. Right, the 5 car, so that's this is Baltink that Jacques Libar's getting past, and in fact, that's a bit of a mess that Baltink's made of the body shell. If we can move 1 car back to the white car with the, looks like he's ripped a front wheel arch off. There we go, he's just getting out of the way of the traffic. This is the 5 car of Oliver Baltink, just heading down the main straight. That's a horrible feeling when you've got a body shell that's a little bit mangled like that. Bodies do make actually, they have an aerodynamic effect, and the different styles of body shells, there's a few different types out there. There'll be a few different manufacturers that you'll see out on the track. We'll see if we get a chance to dig some of those out in the pits. But if you've got part of the body shell missing or it's mounted a little bit off, it definitely makes a difference to how the car feels and can be quite off-putting. So it looks like he's just ripped a front corner clean off of that. Some of these track markers fairly unforgiving. Let's see who else is out there that we can spot that's fairly distinctive. See, Ben's just gone past us again. In fact, let's go back to Jacques Libar then, the pink car, because he's fairly easy to spot. He's on the main straight. He's the only pink car out there. So we've got a minute and a half left. So let's watch him, see if he can run to the end. So I think he's going for the quickest time of the round so far. And of course, as this is the first round of qualifying, that will be provisional. Fastest time so far until the top heat run. those guys are going next. So Michael Olowski was the fastest car in seeding practice. We'll have a chat about those once this race is done. So into the final minute now. It's not falling that nicely actually for Jacques with some of the traffic right at the end, although they've just crashed out of his way, so that's a little bit of a help for him. A little bit of assistance there. Just running around underneath us through this chicane out onto the main straight once again. Also quite a lot higher here at the Huddy Arena than we are typically at a lot of tracks. We are effectively stood at the end of the driver's stand. So what you're seeing from the camera, this is the driver's eye view effectively. Just to give you some idea of what they're looking at and what they're dealing with. Also a little bit strange in that it's a square track, so the car's quite a lot further away when they're out on the main straight. So everybody done. So Jacques Libar takes that one from Alexander Anderson and Vesely. Here we go, Jacques Libar, Alexander Anderson, Vesely, Ben Vincent, Martin Christensen, Magnus Hedlund, Mark Dewitt, Oliver Baltink, Martin Wolfinger, and Patrick Gasseur. Ready for the top heat then. So we've got top seed Michael Olowski. We will then have Ollie Payne, our defending stock champion. Alexander Laurent, that's a great performance from Alexander to get himself up into seeded third. Hupo Honigel won the title a couple of years ago. He'll be quite keen to get that back. Nicholas Johansson, Jorn Neumann making an appearance in a class that I'm not sure if he's raced that before, raced 12 scale before actually. I'll have to try and find him. No, I'm pretty sure he hasn't. I'm pretty sure it's a brand new class for him. So great effort from him, getting themselves out to the grid, making any last minute tweaks. You've got to remember, for a lot of these guys, it's been a couple of hours since they were last on track, so the track does evolve over the course of the weekend. So these warm-up laps are an ideal opportunity to have a bit of a feel of what's going on with the car. So we'll follow the one car off. He'll be the first car off. I think he's the orange car on the plain orange car. So we'll follow Michael Olowski away from the line and his first couple of laps. See how he goes.
Round number one, group number 7, qualifying for European Championship.
Will be quite interesting as well to see what happens over the course of a race distance, because at the moment we have only seen 3 laps, or the time over 3 consecutive laps, not a whole run. So we're running with the one car, the sort of distinctive colours of Michael Olowski, and he's running his race paint actually. So he's made a break for it already. So Michael absolutely flying away at the start. In fact, Jorn Neumann's the really early mover. So he started off with car 6. So he's back in the middle of the pack somewhere. So we'll check him out later. So we'll still running with Michael Olowski. He has absolutely gone away from Ollie Payne. And let's have a look. Ollie Payne running in. Let's have a look. He's fit, so he's dropped down a little bit in the heat. So really hot pace out there at the moment. So let's see if we can find who else is quick. Jorn Neumann was looking fairly quick. He is the yellow-fronted, sort of burgundy rear. He's just coming out onto the main straight now. So let's run with Jorn for a little bit. He is just about to come under the driver's rostrum now. So running with him. Oh, we're on the locked off shot at the moment. We're just making a slight adjustment to the camera. So I'm just keeping an eye on where Jorn Neumann is. He's running third at the moment. He is about 1 second back from Michael. He's just made a very small mistake as well in the chicane coming out onto the straight. Really, really easy to do with these LMP12 cars. You get very slightly offline. It's all about a rhythm. It's all about having a flow between the corners. And if you get one corner very slightly wrong, all of a sudden then the next set of corners just absolutely don't make sense. You go slightly offline, there's no traction offline because no one's driven across it. So you've got all the carpet fluff, all the carpet fibres. Okay, so we are, looks like, back with the moving camera. So just run with the car of Yorn for a little bit. That's the yellow front, burgundy rear just coming underneath us now. I've just seen actually a bit of a problem there for Ollie Payne, who's nosed into the barrier. So he is one car behind Yorn. So this will be quite interesting actually to watch, see if Ollie makes any impression on the back of Yorn at all. And he doesn't appear to be. He's dropping away. So keeping an eye on where Orlowski is. Who else is going fast? The 5 car of Nicholas Johansson. Let's see if we can pick out the 5 car. It's going to be one of the solid coloured cars. I think it's this white car that's just about to come out onto the main straight now. Let's just confirm that as he crosses the loop. Yeah, that's him. So we are now running with the 5 car. That was an awful lot of speed that he carried in there into the chicane underneath the sort of race control effectively. Let's just watch him again here. He's closing in on Ben Elliott, taking an awful lot of time out of everybody. So Ben dives out of his way. So that looks like a really, really quick car that Nicholas Johansson's got there. Just pulling away from people at will. He's got so much forward drive off the corner. So really, really good effort. That's the 4 car on its roof. That was Hupo. So 4 minutes of this to go. Michael Orlowski is still leading this one from Nicholas Johansson. Let's see how much of a lead Michael has got. He's got about 1.6 seconds, so probably worth picking up Michael again. Where is he? Let's just see if we can identify him on track. There's Hupo. Here comes Michael now. He is the white, blue and yellow car. He's on the main straight now, just coming off of it. So there we go. That's him. So he's just making his way through traffic. Now this will be the interesting point to see if Michael's pace stays consistent for the whole 8 minutes, because he's shown some really, really strong pace in qualifying. Obviously he was seeding practice. He was the runner-up last year in stock, so aiming to go one better. Again, not Michael's normal class. He is, of course, previous winner of European title in four-wheel drive off-road. Car actually looks very undramatic. It doesn't particularly look fast, which is always a bit of a good sign, to be honest, if it's just going exactly where he puts it. He's really just clipping everything. Just seen another mistake there from Hupo. So a slightly mangled body shell. Ollie Payne on his roof again. So Orlowski still leading this one. We're running with him. We're into the final 2 minutes, so probably worth watching him bring this home. Let's see how much he's got over Johansson. Started out quite a while apart. Yeah, it's up to about 4 seconds now, the gap. So no sign of any fade from him. Just looking really smooth and undramatic. That'll be a great feeling as well, the fact that there's zero traffic in front of him. So he knows now for the last minute and 10 seconds he can just attack the track as hard as he likes. Hasn't got to worry about getting caught up in anybody else's incidents. 1 minute to go. Michael's car just looking really well balanced. Off the end of the main straight through the chicane. Nice quick change of direction there. So into the final 30 seconds now. Let's see, Michael Olowski still leading this one from the 5 car of Nicholas Johansson. Jon Neumann's got himself back up into 3rd. From Nicholas Nielsen, and I think Mark Stiles is putting in an appearance somewhere around there as well. So Mark's going to go 5th, I think. No, 6th. So here we go. So Michael takes that one, and he has made the extra lap that no one else has. So the 34 lapper. So Michael Olowski's taken that one from Nicholas Johansson, Jon Neumann, Nicholas Nilsson, Ollie Payne, Mark Stiles, Hupo Honigel, Ben Elliott, Alexander Laurent, and Patrick Gasseur. And that is stock racing done for the day. So it is now on to modified. You'll see some of these guys actually race in both classes. So these are the very fast cars now. Quite a lot faster than the 13.5s. Certainly in terms of top speed. Of course, having that extra power does mean that when things go wrong, it happens quite a lot faster. So we may well have a few breakages. Just see Martin Huddy there making a few adjustments to the track in front of us. A little bit of tape going out. So just fixing the track with, a little bit of tape. Get everything sorted, all the marshals from the previous heat going out. I see Ollie's put out a substitute by the look of it. I can just see Morgan Williams going and sitting down there for him. Martin Huddy struggling with some tape. Have another go. There we go. Patched up nicely. So getting ready to go with this heat of modified. So Bo Nilsson, Marek Frick, we have Peter Blazewski, Rene Kjellerup, Jeffy Svidova, Zoltan Polyak, Radovan Kopnik, and Michael Tronowski. So running with Bo Nilsson at the moment, the 1 car, that is the all pink coloured car. Already see a mistake there from Marek Frick. Marshall's popped him back. It was a little bit mean of the marshal. I think the ref probably could have called him to wait. See another mistake there from the leader. He gets dropped back over onto the circuit. So let's pick up the lead car now, which is the green front, yellow centre, white rear car. As he comes past us, I think that's going to be I think that may well be the 3 car. No, that's actually the it's the 5 car, I think. It was the 5 car. Let's go with the all green car. So we're running with the all green car. Peter Blazuki. And big mistake there. You can see what we were saying about a very small accident or a very small mistake with the modified motor, where they're quite a lot quicker, quite a lot more powerful. It all goes wrong an awful lot quicker. There we go, another little mistake, little tap against the barrier. Through the chicane in the middle of the circuit, down under race control. It's a little bit disconcerting having a square circuit, certainly from a driver's point of view. You're used to having a track in most cases, you've got a track in a landscape format in front of you. So this will feel a little bit alien, though drivers have all been out on it several times today. Some of these guys have actually given themselves a real challenge because they are running stock as well as modified. So in one sense, it maybe helps you that you're getting a little bit more track time and a bit of a better understanding of the track layout. But you do find that where you're applying the throttle, all of your points at which you turn in, all of your reference points, they all change as well. So it is a bit of an adjustment to really run both classes. It's something you need to sort of compartmentalise and separate them. Number 2 car of Marek Fritsch is leading this one. Let's see if we can spot him out there. He is one of the white and red cars. Just waiting to spot the... Okay, I can see him at the... He's the last car in the chain. He's just coming underneath us now. So it's the white and red car that is just out of the main straight now. There we go. So this is our lead car. So he's closing in quite rapidly on some back markers. That's fallen quite well for him. So it's a bit of a Days of Thunder moment there. You just sort of shut your eyes and when you have an accident occur in front of you, shut your eyes and hope that you pop out in front of the carnage without any damage. Traffic being very kind to him. There you go, mistake. Pops it on its roof. I don't think he'll actually lose the lead with that because he had such a gap. So it's a really good run. You almost wonder what he's doing in this heat. So he must have had a bit of a nightmare in practice to end up seeded in the bottom heat, because looking at his pace, he's some 8 seconds down the road from anybody else. So very good performance from Marek Fritsch, the Czech driver. You can see it's actually catching him out there. The closing speed that he's got over some of the other cars. What just happened there was he was anticipating, he turned into a corner anticipating that the other car would be through it and gone. And all of a sudden, he sort of found this other car parked on the apex. You can't do anything about it. It's not really anyone's fault. It's just an indication that he has had a bit of a nightmare in seeding practice and hasn't really ended up in the heat that the pace of his car deserves. Again, takes his time there through some of the traffic. That was a bit more like it. He's got it's about a 15-second lead, I think. Almost. Let's have a double check as the times as they come across. No, it's 11-second lead. Okay, so it's best part of a lap, to be honest. These guys are probably averaging a similar lap time, actually, to the fast stock drivers. Oh, we've got a bit of a problem there, actually, for the 2 car. A bit of a body tuck that has been sorted and on his way. He had such a lead that I don't think that's... Oh, into that, he's just taken another Burton across the track. So he is back up and running. Parked it in the... No, I thought that was him parking it in the barrier again. It wasn't. It was somebody else. Just caught him out the corner of my eye. There's 1 minute to go. So the lead car is now the 3 car, which is... Just wait and see if we can identify him. 3 car is the green front, yellow centre. He's just coming round out onto the main straight now, I think. There we go. So I believe that's the 3 car. Yep, that is the leader. So those few bad laps there for Marek Fritsch has let Peter Blazuki to the front. So last few seconds. So everyone done. Fact, Peter is he makes the extra lap. So Peter Blazuki gets that from Rene Kjellerup and Yuri Svoboda. See, Marek Fritsch was a long way in front, but dropped down the field there. So let's get ready for the next heat. Heat number 2 of 6 of modified. Who have we got in this one? So we have Norbert Omalanchuk. We'll call him Norbert. Damien Giddens. Stefan Huyss. Zoltz Kalnay. Marcel Dostal. Martin Svara. Boyd and Mark Payne. There we go. Actually expecting Damien Giddens to go a little bit better in this one. Now he's had his delivery from us of tea bags. He was most put out yesterday that there weren't normal tea bags available here. So we got a frantic message to stuff some in the luggage as we flew out this morning. Okay, so cars staging up on the line. A couple of Brits in this one. Notice Mark Payne being very brave. He's running stock and modified this weekend. Okay, so Damien's got that slightly wrong. He's been caught napping a bit there at the start, I think, because he was actually car number 2. I suspect he's been number 6 in seeding practice and hasn't actually picked up on the fact that he's number 2, but he'll get away with it. His clock doesn't start until he crosses the loop anyway. So he's just a little bit out of order, out of sequence. It's actually worked out quite well for him there as well, with a few people making a mistake in front of him. So he is running in second. He's got himself second in the queue. Let's pick up his car. It's the yellow fronted, sort of teal rear. He's just going out onto the main straight now. There we go. That is Damien Gideon's car. Looking a little bit leery. He's just letting a faster car go. And that faster car then obliges by crashing straight in front of him. Quite frustrating as a driver, that, actually, when you've got someone who's got an absolute rocket ship of a car. You do the kind thing and get out of the way, and then they just fire it into the scenery and keep on appearing behind you again. So we've got Norbert leading this one with the 1 car. Let's see if we can spot him out there. I think he is the white and red car on the main straight now. Just coming off through. I believe that is the 1 car. Yeah, it looks like it. No, it's not. It's the white and orange car is Norbert. There he is. So he's just come underneath us now. So that is the 1 car, the white and orange car out on the main straight now. So this is the leader. I think I'm going to have to refer to him as Norbert for the course of the weekend to refer. Oh, he's got a problem. He's got an issue. Has he? He's looking like he's struggling with drive. Or he is and he isn't. Let's... Yeah, he's just pulling over to the side of the... He's keeping out of everybody's way. He's doing a sensible thing. So he's just figuring out that something doesn't quite feel right. And, yeah, he's pulled it in to retire. So the 6 car moves to the front. So the 6 car is the yellow front, white centre, red rear car, I believe. Just double check as he crosses the line. Yep, that is the 6 car. So let's run with him. This is Martin Svara, Czech driver. So you can see, actually, it looks like Martin's taking a bit of a different approach to a few of the other guys. He is giving some of the apexes a bit of a wide berth and driving around almost the middle of the circuit, but he's not making any mistakes. He's not hitting anything. So although he might be giving away a couple of tenths on a lap by not maximising every single corner, he's not giving away whole seconds by crashing. So different approach, quite novel. Not novel at all. It's sensible. I think I need to take a leaf out of that book sometimes. Speak to some of my teammates, they'll tell you quite a lot of the time I need to do that. Starting to tighten up a little bit now, and there we go. He's just made a mistake. So as he starts to tighten up and tries to maximise it, I think we've given him the curse of the commentator there. He was going around nicely, and then I think he got a little bit brave. So the 4 car now of Zolt Kalnay is leading. Let's see, let's try and pick him out. The number 4 car as he crosses the loop. Just waiting for him. Okay, the 4 car is, I believe, the white and red car, just coming underneath us now. So he's just heading out towards the main straight. There we go, he's on the straight now, that is the leader. Okay, we're just having a bit of an adjustment with the camera. So the leader, number 4 car, just coming past us now, through the chicane out onto the main straight. There we go, that is our leader, Zolt Kalnay. And he's closing down, I believe, Mark Payne. Yes, he is closing in on Mark Payne. So Mark makes a mistake in the chicane in front of him. Mark's car actually, just watching that in the front of the shot, looks a little bit angry, a little bit upset with him. Mark, more used to running the stock class, and he's racing the stock class this weekend. Giving himself a nice challenge by running Modified 2. See him flow through. Actually stringing together some decent laps now. It's amazing sometimes how having a quick car behind you can focus your mind all of a sudden. And when you're running around by yourself, you sort of float off into a bit of a daydream. There we go, Mark gets out of the way. 1 minute and 20 to go. So still with Zolt Kalnay, the leader. And he's just made a mistake. So drops himself back behind Mark. So last minute. So we'll continue to run with him to the end. So everybody condensing up together. Damien Giddens gets out of the way. In fact, the car that he's closing in on, Mark Payne, is now running in second in the heat. So that's quite a good recovery there from Mark at the end, actually. He's strung together some consistent laps and it's popped him right up the order. So about 20 seconds of the run remaining. So let's see if Zolt actually tries to catch and pass Mark. They know if there's 10 seconds left, if they're aware of how little time there is, they may well decide to hold station. It's always a danger when you move off line to try and let someone through, or when that heat done. That is heat number 2 of Modified. Just getting ready for heat number 3. There we go, there's the result. Zolt Kalnay, Mark Payne, Stefan Huys, Damien Giddens, Martin Zvara, Boyd Chwaki, Marcel Dostal, and Norbert. Who have we got then? Andrea Valerio, Branislav Panak, Axel Bergerson, Alexander Anderson, Pa Yiverby, Errol Sahirtoy, Mikael Brandt, and Luca Mino. So again, these drivers taking an opportunity to get a few laps in, figure out what they've got underneath them. Can hear the telltale sounds of a diff slipping in the background. That sounds like someone that's not destined to make 8 minutes. So cars forming up on the grid. Well, on the grid, on the start line. If you're just joining us, welcome to you. We are RC Racing TV, bringing you the EFRA 112th European Championships from Huddy Arena in Trenčín, Slovakia. Here with our event sponsors, A-Main Hobbies, Roche, Zen Racing and Montec.
Good, let's go racing. First round qualifying for group number 3 in the box. We're starting. Car 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So Valerio is the culprit with the slipping diff, I believe. So he's okay on the fast corners. It's slow corners as he accelerates off of them. You can hear that chirp in the background. It's not going to do him many favours long term. Just means you've got to maintain the corner speed of your car. Just about getting away with it. He's being sensible and he's letting, I think that's Branislav Panak go with the, was that the 2 car or the 3? It was Panak that he's let go with the orange car. So let's pick up the orange car. That is Branislav Panak, the all orange coloured car. He's just made a mistake actually, so he's parked it into the barrier. So that's not worked ideally. Sounds like Valerio's car is getting worse. You know, he's doing a really sensible job with that. He's just got to be so careful on the throttle. That diff is definitely going to need a rebuild later. Another mistake then from Panak. So it's the 7 car of Mikael Brandt that is leading. Let's see if we can identify the 7 car out there. Brandt is the white and yellow and blue car. He's just coming out on towards the main straight now. There we go. That is a 7 car of Brandt. Mikael Brandt, the Swedish driver, who is leading. Going pretty well, although he's looks like he's being a little bit optimistic in some of these sections of the track with his approach speeds, with his entry speeds. You can see the car sometimes sort of snap sideways to a halt. It's just an indication that was unfortunate, just catching a car at the wrong time, catching some traffic. So Brandt still leading this one. Continue to run with him. The squealing has stopped, so that indicates to me that Valerio has dropped out of the run. So Brandt and Panak. In fact, Brandt's leading this one relatively comfortably. He's got about it's only about 3 seconds. It's not a huge amount of time. Nice enough, but it's only going to take a mistake to drop him back by that amount. Car's actually starting to look better. You can quite often find this during a run, that the balance of the car improves. When you first put the car down, you may have freshly cut tyres on there. These cars are running foam tyres, so they're cut on a tyre truer down to a diameter, or down to the diameter that you want to run. Quite often they are better after a couple of laps just to bed them in. The car gets a better balance. The other thing is some of the additive will have worn off of the tyres. You put a treatment on there. This is a control additive this weekend that they're running. And just see swapped ends there going into the corner. So as the additive wears off during the run, it can alter the balance of the car a little bit. So a car that is quite aggressive at the start of the run suddenly becomes very nice towards the middle of it, and towards the end can have a little bit of understeer, a little bit of push, which is very nice to drive, but you end up losing a bit of lap time. So, okay, we've got he's parked it up. So let's see, that's not good. Let's pick up the 2 car again then of Panak. Is the orange car, I think. Yep, so Branislav Panak is now leading this one, the orange car that we're running with. So a few cars dropping out of this one. Slightly higher attrition rate in modified. Accidents are a bit bigger. More parts breakages. It's always a danger as well. Once you've gone past traffic, you're trying to get away from them, and you can almost try too hard. You've just got to sit back and let the car flow. You can't attack it too much and try and make up that time in one chunk. You've got to just let it come to you and ease away. See another mistake there. So this is what we were talking about with the balance of the car changing over the course of the run. Car that looked quite nice to drive earlier. Now all of a sudden starting to look a little bit hooky, a little bit grabby and snatchy in some of the corners. Looking at it, what appears to have happened is actually he's lost a little bit of front end, and he's turning in at the same speed, and he's not gripping. He's coming off the throttle, and then all of a sudden as the speed comes off, it's biting. You can see the car sort of hook a little bit in some of the corners and catch him out, catch him by surprise. So really the way to cope with that is just to moderate your entry speed a little bit more, just to back off the throttle very slightly earlier. Don't let the front tyre slide. But knowing about it and saying it to yourself is one thing. Actually doing it whilst you're driving around the circuit is completely different. I know that all too well. But Panak's still leading this one. Still got clear track in front of him. Into the last 20 seconds, Branislav Panak still leading this one. And in fact, he's over a lap down the road from anybody else. Errol Sahirto is the car running in second place, but we'll run with Panak to the end. Last few seconds. See, they're starting to flash up with their finishing times. In fact, Sahirto makes it through. So there's the finishing times. Branislav Panak, Errol Sahirto, Pa Yivby, Lucamino, Axel Bergerson, Andrea Valerio. We heard his spur gear let him go. He's got himself back running again, so I guess someone's gone and tightened that diff for him. Always sensible if you have that option available to you, because otherwise, when he goes out on track tomorrow, well, it is going to be tomorrow now, he's not going to know that the problem is gone. So sometimes if you've got a problem like that that is a very easy fix, if you've got a mechanic trackside, very sensible thing to do. Get them to sort it. Get yourself in a clear space of track. Don't get in anybody's way, because you're not in qualifying anymore, really, compared to them. So last thing you want to do is upset someone's run, but get yourself a clear bit of track, drive the car, check there's no problems. Who we got this time? Patrick Gasseur, Kumi Bui, Martin Christensen, Nicola Maroni, Igor Liptak, Magnus Hedlund, Marcus Andreasen, and Rene Doctor. Actually, interesting story about Nicola Maroni. I don't think he intended to race this weekend. Nicola, of course, runs hot race tyres and came here to support Alex Hagberg. And I'm pretty sure this is one of Alex's old practice cars that Nicola is running this weekend. So there you go. You turn up to help out and get roped into running. Again, welcome to you if you are just joining us. We are RC Racing TV. You're joining us here at the EFRA 112th European Championships. Coming towards the end of day one now. Events being held at the fantastic Huddy Arena in Trenčín, Slovakia. Brought here with our event sponsors, A-Main Hobbies, Roche, Zen Racing and Montec. I'd like to thank all of them for helping to bring us here. Starting to get up towards some recognisable names now. See Bjorn there on the microphone.
Yeah, it looks like it. Good. Let's go right quick. Start from car number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So car 1 of Patrick Gasseur off and counting.
All on the way.
He's got off to a good start. Just noticed out the corner of my eye, actually, Rene Doctor was off last. He did quite a sensible thing in that because your clock doesn't start until you cross the line, so that he's got a nice bit of clear track to work with, he's given himself a gap, especially with such a long lap time. Normally you go off at 1 second intervals. If he's waited a couple of seconds, so he's gone off, say, 3 seconds after car 7, he's got 3 seconds that he can work with and 3 seconds worth of clear track to get himself into a rhythm, to get himself balanced. So a little bit of a nice trick that you can do if you are the last car off in a heat. See Patrick Gasseur's car looking a little bit more alive than some of the cars that we've seen earlier. Change of direction, looking a little bit more crisp, I think is probably the term that you use. It's not wallowing, it's responding exactly to his inputs. In fact, that almost caught him out. I'm pretty sure there, because I know I've done it plenty of times, he probably thought he'd crashed in the middle of that chicane. It's weird, your eyes stop moving because you're sure that your car's going to have stopped. And actually, you've just clipped the apex perfectly. Closing in on traffic now. Let's see how nicely they get out of the way. Straight out of the way. So it's working really nicely for Patrick Gasseur. You see what we said about Rene Doctor. He started off behind. He's popped himself up into second place in the heat now with the 8 car. Let's see if we can pick up the 8 car as he crosses. Just cross. Okay, so he's the white and orange car, I believe. Ah, yeah, he's the car that Patrick Gasseur's catching hand over fist. So they're just coming out onto the main straight now. So Rene Doctor does the sensible thing. Let's run with him for a little bit as the second place man. See that Patrick Gasseur is absolutely gone down the road. He's about 9 seconds in front already. In fact, it's less than that. It's about 5 seconds from Doctor. So, of course, Doctor started off late and at the back of the heat, so it's taken a little while for him to update as he crosses. And Gasser's actually caught and passed him now, so you're never going to see Gasser and Doctor on the same lap until you get to the end. So that will all condense. Chances are then, as they cross the line, that you'll find Gasser will actually have to get out of his way because his clock will have called him finishing and Doctor will still be running. So we'll need to move out of his way. 4 seconds between Doctor that we are running with and Bowie. Oh, he's popped it on its roof. It's not going to help him. Gasser is streaking away at the front of this. He's absolutely checked out. He's in the other half of the track. He's just coming underneath us now. Let's pick him up. So Patrick Gasser really, really going well here. He's properly attacking the track. Keeping it neat, keeping it tight. Car's looking really good. He's got a lot of confidence in that. So this heat number 4 of 6. So nearly all of our track action for today complete.
6 minutes down, 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes.
It's come up to 2 minutes. There's been quite a rate of attrition here as well. We've got 4 cars circulating together. Let's move over to those other cars because they're all together in a gaggle, so it'll be something to watch. We know Patrick Gasser has absolutely gone and is going really nicely. So it's quite close between Comey Bui with the 2 car, I think, and Rene Doctor. Is it? Let's have a look. No, it's some 8 seconds now. So off-screen Doctor must have made a mistake. So let's just check. The 2 car Bui is the... I think that is the white and red car just coming underneath us now. It is. So that's our second place man on the straight. Yep, there we go. That is... Oh, he's just made a mistake. So curse the commentator on him there. Into final minute. So we'll run with him till the end. See what Kumi Bui's car looks like. Again, he's not attacking that corner at the end of the straight. The corner at the end of the straight, but the sort of entry to the chicane, he's not attacking that quite so much. You can see he's sort of coming off the throttle and rolling it into the corner, which is the sensible approach to take, and it's going to keep everything cool within the car. Certainly going to be much more consistent. If you're pitching the car in there sideways, you might do the occasional hero lap with it. But you're running the risk of getting it very, very wrong. In fact, Bui has moved to the front. So what has happened? So Gasser's had an issue somewhere. Yeah, he's dropping down the field. No, oh, he's finished. So Bui gets that one. And he's the only one to make it onto the extra lap. So Kumi Bui gets that one. Okay. That is Comey Bui, Marcus Andreasen, Magnus Hedlund, Rene Doctor, Patrick Gasser, Nicola Marone, Martin Christiansen, and Igor Liptak. So it's the penultimate heat now. Who do we have? We have Jacques Lieber, Dominic Vogel, Lewis Parker, Mark Stiles, Nicholas Johansson, Thomas Liptak, Tim Altman, and Vesely.
Hello.
Hello.
Thought I'd come and say hi. First time I said hello.
Okay, we're bringing you Stereo James for briefly.
James and James.
Yes.
And also working out why I'm a bit quieter than you.
Okay.
Crashed
Sorry.
each other. I'm going to say, if you've just joined us and you're wondering what's going on, this is the first race, or the first live streamed race of the season.
It is, yes.
For EFRA.
Yeah.
We are RC Racing TV. We are live all the way from the Hoodie Arena in Trencin in Slovakia. And the team here this week is James Stewart, Matt McCallum, Jan. I've forgotten his surname. I'm just going to say Jan. There's only one Jan.
There's only one Jan.
I always do that. I go introduce someone and forget something about them. And me, James Parry. And we are the team this week, bringing you all the action as it happens. We're here today, tomorrow, and of course Sunday.
Finals day, Sunday?
Yes, for the finals day, of which there'll be lots of finals, because not only is there 3 legs, but there's also stock and mod.
There is.
And we'll explain more about that as the week goes on if you have no idea what we're going on about.
Yes, 3-legged finals doesn't mean that you're tied to the bloke next to you on the roster. Although that would be quite amusing.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go with the penultimate heat. Jacques Lieber going to lead us off. So we'll run with him for a little bit.
Let's go racing. Start time number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that car trying to give Jacques Lieber a bit of a fright as he opened the throttle. Could be an indication that the diff's not quite as smooth as it should be. That car does look like it's got a definite tweak in it. As he opens up the throttle, it wants to pull sideways. Seems to have calmed down a little bit now. So he's up and running. Lewis Parker's looking quite racy out there, actually. In fact, he's got to the front. So the orange and black car. Let's run with him. That's Lewis Parker, junior driver. So Lewis not leaving a lot on the table, to be honest. He's trying pretty hard out there. So Lewis Parker still leading this one from Nicholas Johansson, and I think Mark Stiles is running in 3rd. Who'd have thought it? So let's have a look at Mark's car for a little bit. It's the white and red car. He is just coming round underneath us now. So let's run with Mark for a little bit. Unashamed Brit watch. So Mark's car looking pretty decent. It just looks a little bit lethargic. In the middle of the corner, he's driving a tight line. Just in the middle of the corner, it's just looking a little bit lazy. Sure, that's something he can work on. Maybe go slightly thicker on the damper tubes later. Should liven the car up a bit. Could possibly hurt him in some of the chicanes if he tries that, but no doubt that will be a discussion point for later. Lewis Parker still leading this one and going away at the front. So let's pick up Lewis again, the orange and black car. Just gone underneath us now. So just running round with Lewis still. Be interesting to see with this pace that Lewis has got if he can hang on to that to the end and not run out of it. It's always really tempting to thrash the car round when you've got the traction at the start. Just seen off screen, Styles put it on its roof, and again on the main straight. That looks like a bit of a bent associated. The body shell's not looking particularly happy on that. Let's running with Lewis Parker though. He's actually running second in the heat now to Nicholas Johansson with the 5 car. Is that the white car behind him? It is, yes. So in fact, he's just let him go. So the 5 car now really making progress. So Nicholas Johansson, let's run with him, the all-white car, just about to come out on the main straight now. So Nicholas looked very quick in stock as well, don't forget. Looking really good now. So the car's obviously come to him. Pulled quite rapidly, about 6 seconds. So, in fact, if we can pick up the car of Lewis Parker again, the orange and black car, this is what I was saying earlier about attacking too hard at the start. He is just coming round underneath us now. Here we go. Have we got him? There we go. He's just coming out towards the main straight. No, 1 car back. He's on the main straight now, the orange and black car. There we go. Last car there. Right. So we were saying about him earlier, he was going really, really well, but there was a danger that going off at that pace at the start, you would run out of rear traction. And if you watch, there we go, the car just over-rotates now. So what's happened is he's effectively burnt all of the additive out of the rear tyres, which makes the car a real handful to drive. The car sliding around everywhere. You can't get the throttle down. You've got no confidence in the car. You can see what he's trying to do there is bounce it off the wall. Needs to be, really when you're trying to do that, you need to not get back on the throttle quite so quickly to let it bounce away a little bit more. You can see the instability. As soon as he tries to lean on it, the car's snapping around and is squaring off the corner. So that's a case of a car that was quick over, very, very fast over 3 laps, which will help you get seeded into a heat. But maybe needs a little bit of work. And it's not insurmountable. There's various things that you can do. First thing that you'd probably try is a longer soak time maybe on the rear additive. Cut down a little bit on your front additive time as well. So just interesting to see what happens if you go absolutely flat out at the start of a run. You can start running into issues later on. So Johansson leading this one. Let's pick him up. Which one of the white cars is he? Let's have a look. And I think he's just going out onto the main straight now. Let's double check that as he crosses the loop. No, that wasn't him. So it must be the last of the white cars. There we go. So this must be into the final minute. This is our leader, Nicholas Johansson. There we go. That is definitely him. And I think that's actually Dominic Vogel that he's catching. So the second place car. And Dominic has let him go. So really good run coming together then for Johansson. Certainly no worries about running out of traction with that car.
Good job, Martin Fire. Good job.
So last few seconds of the run. So mistake there. Oh, that's not nice. On your split lap. Make a mistake on your split lap. Just gives you a long lap time. So Nicholas Johansson gets that from Dominic Vogel and Vesey Lee. Lewis Parker, despite being very, very quick at the start, looked like he ran out of rear traction a little bit there at the end. A few retirements there as well. So on to our last track action of the day. This is the top heat of modified. This is the majority of the big hitters. Just waiting to get them out on the track. See what they have underneath them. So some very distinctive body shells out there. This should make our life a little bit easier. 2 minutes to the start just being called. So here we go, Jorn Neumann, top seed from Alexander Hagberg, reigning champion and also world champion as well, won that title last year in South Africa. Michael Olowski, Ollie Payne, Alexander Laurent, Andy Murray, Hupo Honigol, Marcus Hellquist and Marcus Mobers. No, these guys all know exactly what they're up to. Seeded straight into the top heat. So just getting called 1 minute to the start. So Jorn Neumann going to lead them off. I think this is the first time in about 6 years someone's been in front of Alex Hagberg at a Euros. So you can see all of these guys here. They're actually, the reason that they're not queuing up in a giant line across the track and they're all aiming for one spot of track, that's where they've been running over. That's where the traction is. They don't want dirt on the tyres. So they're all trying to maximise their run from the start. So it looks like Jorn Neumann is running a plain orange shell, I believe. Let's go with him from the start. He is running a plain orange shell. So let's watch Jorn, see if he gets away from Alex. He's definitely not leaving much on the table there. He's actually using the marker dots as curbs. So Jorn, more traditionally known as an off-road driver. Pretty sure this is the first time he's actually raced 12th scale. So got a mistake there from, was that a mistake from Hagberg? No. There's a couple of similar coloured shells out there. So Jorn Neumann going away at the front. Alex has sort of checked him. So the gap between them that time round, about 0.8 of a second. So Jorn's made the initial break. And now starting to make his way through some traffic. He's made his way past Marcus Hellquist. So we are running with Jorn Neumann still. You can just see Alex Hagberg flash through in the back of shot. So there's only 0.3 behind them the previous lap. It's about 0.4 now, so it's really, really close. These guys operating on the, what we term on the split, they started out 1 second apart. Currently then, between them, there's about 1.4 seconds. In fact, it's down to about 0.2 of a second now, so there's 1.2 seconds between them on track. So you've got Alex Hagberg now starting to apply some pressure. Alex obviously made a mistake somewhere. So, there's less than a hundredth in it that time around. So, Alex really cranking up the pressure now. There's less than half a tenth between them. So, really, really close here on the split between these two. So, we're going to stick with it. So, Jorn Neumann from Alex Hagberg, and a thrilling battle going on. 10th of a second now. So, Jorn's just edged it out. But this is ebbing and flowing all the time. There's nothing in this one at all. There's about 800ths between them at the moment. So I'm kind of expecting Alex to get the lead as they catch up to the traffic. He'll close very slightly on Jorn, and then Jorn will pull away when they get the other side of the traffic. So I'm thinking that Alex might well be leading this lap round. Let's have a look. Yep, so Alex leads this time around. Still behind on the track. They're coming up to Andy Murray, I think. So Andy gets out of both of their way. So Alex leading this one by 300ths. So really, really close. So let's move back one car to the white and green car of Alex Hagberg. Okay, so let's run with him down the straight. So Jorn Neumann, Alex Hagberg. In fact, Neumann moves back to the front then. But there's less than a tenth of a second still between them. So we'll stick with Alex for a little bit. This is a really, really good battle. This is a tactical battle that's going on. A little bit like a chess match, really, that you'd be watching. They've got clear track in front of them now, so they've all cleared the traffic. Jorn Neumann was leading by 1,500ths of a second last time around. Alex Hagberg goes back to the front, but there is nothing in this. They're trading times all the way through. It's already halfway through the run. And there we go, mistake there from Jorn. So Alex is right on him now, can apply the pressure. Jorn Neumann, of course, well used to dealing with it, but there you go, he makes a mistake. So Alex now in front on the track as well as on the clock. It's a great position to be in from Alex's point of view. He knows that so long as Jorn is behind him, he's got him beaten. When you are operating on the split, there's always that little element of doubt in your mind that someone could just edge away from you enough. You're always trying to second guess how big a gap 1 second is. There's absolutely no doubt now as Alex is in front. So Alex looking to open his title defence in the strongest way possible. Of course, this is the first time they're being measured over 8 minutes this weekend. Previously, they have been going for best 3 consecutive laps. So Alex coming round to, I believe that's Andy Murray again. So Andy opens up and gives him space. And he stays out of Jorn's way as well. Oh, mistake there from Alex. So is that a problem for Alex? That may well be. Has Alex got an issue? Alex has. So, okay, so Alex Hagberg, that's a bit of drama there. So Jorn Neumann back to the front, and we have a retirement from our defending champion. He's got some kind of issue with his car. I don't know what that is. We'll see if we can figure out what that is later. So Jorn Neumann leads now from Michael Orlowski. So let's pick up the car. You can see Alex is still third. So such was their pace. He's still running in third despite all of that, all of those problems. He's going to drop down the field now as everybody completes. But let's see if we can pick up Jorn. He is the first of the 2 orange cars, I think, just coming through the chicane out onto the main straight now. Believe that one's Jorn. Yep, it is. So Andy Murray is the second of the 2 orange cars. So Jorn making his way through the traffic. He knows that this is an opportunity because this is round by round qualifying. It's a points-based system. Alex dropping out is a massive, massive opportunity. And it is for everybody else as well, because normally Alex would be, looking at the pace of this, Alex would be a slam dunk for top 2. So it elevates everybody else 1 position higher than they would normally be. So great opportunity to get some points on the board. Jorn Neumann leading this one from Michael Orlowski. Marcus Mobers has made his way up into 3rd place. He's a lap down on Orlowski though. So Jorn Neumann still leading this one into the final minute. Let's run with him to the end. Has been a great performance from Jorn. Didn't lose his head when Alex went past him. It's paid off. Alex has had a problem with a retirement. So Jorn Neumann looks like he is on his way to a TQ, or fastest time of the round, sorry. Put him on provisional pole overnight. That's a nice feeling. As you sit down to dinner knowing that you're on pole position. Last 10 seconds. So this is the last track action of the day. Let's see if he's made it. He has done the 36 in 8:08, so almost a lap up on Michael Orlowski. He was 3 seconds short of being a lap up. So really dominant performance there from Jorn Neumann. Ahead of Michael Orlowski, Marcus Mobers in 3rd, Hupo Honigel 4th, Marcus Hellquist, Alexander Laurent, Andy Murray, Alex Hagberg and Ollie Payne. Some retirements for them. Ooh, so that is it. That's our track action for today. We're back at some point, first thing tomorrow morning. We got practice sessions tomorrow morning. Just hearing stuff going on about team managers meeting at 7:30 as well. That's fairly normal at a Euro, so each federation, so the BRCA, DMC, etc., will have a person representing them, normally a mechanic. It's not always a racer. And yeah, they just have a meeting, check everything's going okay, bring anything to the table about how the meeting's running. So that is us for the day, I think. Signing off. Okay, goodbye.